Looks like the funnel itself likely to go east of the city of Cheyenne itself. But tornado warnings for Goshen County and for Laramie County. Obviously, we've got the visual on the tornado right now. We've been watching this evolve from a wedge-shaped structure to more of a rope-like structure as it goes more horizontal and tilts. When this initially formed, this is a large, almost perfectly vertical, wedge-shaped tornado. Multiple funnels began to drop, and then came the large wedge tornado. But now you can see we've got more of a rope-like structure. Dr. Force has been analyzing this, and you can still see down toward the ground, we've still got the interaction with the ground, so we've still got a funnel on the ground, although I'm suspecting at some point here that is going to lift, Dr. Forbes. It looks like it's significantly weaker than it once was.
It is indeed much weaker, Mike, but I do believe you there, just as we panned in, that I saw a little bit of a dust cloud still at the ground there, so this is still capable of damage. It's also, as we've been talking about, I think there's still a little bit of dust being kicked up by this at the ground, so it's not done having winds at the surface. And off to the right and a little bit closer to you, there could be a new tornado that would develop.
Absolutely amazing. And now it's kinking, and basically there it goes, Dr. Forbes. It looks like it has completely dissipated. Wow, that was truly amazing. You've just witnessed the complete evolution and dissipation of a tornado, and now it looks like the center of the thunderstorm that created that tornado is now about to pass directly over top of us. A Vortex 2, actually, hold on a second. It looks like, I'm wondering now if we've got something still trying to hold on here, Dr. Forbes. Richard, can you see? It looks like a little dust cloud here. Dr. Forbes,
yeah.
This looks far removed, though, Dr. Forbes, from what we were watching earlier, though, but it still looks like we potentially could have a little bit of a dust cloud here at the surface.
There's something there. I'm not sure if that's the original, the remnants of the original, or if we have a little gustnado, a little low-level whirlwind that's on the gust front of the storm under the flanking line. But you're right, there's certainly something there.
Okay, now Dr. Forbes, where the top of the tornado once was is directly in front of us right now. I can obviously see a lot of spin still to remain in this tornado, and you were saying if we get another one, it could be directly in this spot that's following us right now. Actually, you know what? I think we got to go. I think we got to go. I think this might be coming toward us and lowering. I think this might be a little bit too dangerous for it to be here. Let's everybody go. Let's everybody get in our cars. Let's go south. Dr. Forbes, when we look at this, actually, yeah, that's going to be big. We got to go. We got to go. That's coming right for us, Dr. Forbes.
Yeah, Mike, stay safe. Typically, Mike, as the one tornado dissipates, the next one will form typically about 4 or 5 miles off to the east. And so that would definitely put you in a place where it's a good time for you to be moving.
Okay, Dr. Forbes, when I look at this some more, I mean, it's very, very close to us. I don't see a funnel that has formed just yet, but I feel like we're a little bit too close for safety here. As far as where we would be concerned for winds or potential debris, I mean, obviously that's going to be right into the funnel. If we were to be close to hail, is that going to be on the north side of this storm? Because right now I don't see any precipitation or hail at all.
Yeah, it's going to be farther north. That's exactly right, Mike. It's amazing. When we began this series here, there was a tremendous amount of heavy rain and hail falling right behind the tornado. That has all disappeared, and so now if you just take a jog to your south, looks as if you can get out of that. Heading north, on the other hand, I anticipate that there's still quite a body. There it is. You see over to the north, there's still quite a body of rain and hail in there with this storm.
Okay, Dr. Forbes, I think what we're going to do here for all the crew safety is we're going to hop in the cars here real quick. We can still keep our cameras live. I can still talk to you, but for everyone's safety, everyone's in their cars, I think we're going to hop in right now and try to head farther south here. I'm going to shut the door here for Richard as he hops in the car here, and then we're going to head farther southbound. We're very close to what was the leading edge of the storm now as it pushes more east-southeast. Can you give us an estimation on the forward speed of the tornado, at least this part of the storm? It's not a tornado anymore.
Yeah, probably 25. Maybe this particular portion of the storm may be just a tad faster because you're getting close to where the gust front just south of the tornado is pushing forward. So perhaps 30, 35 miles per hour off toward the east. And as Mike has been pointing out, tornado warning for Goshen and Laramie counties in southeast Wyoming.
Dr. Forbes, when I look at what Vortex 2 is able to accomplish with something like this complete tornado genesis, how advantageous is the data that they are going to get to that they're trying to do, and the ultimate outcome, which may be figuring out which storms produce tornadoes and which ones don't.
Well, this is going to be a spectacularly valuable data set for the Vortex2 project. We talked a little bit earlier about how impressed I was that a big wedge tornado could form like that with the rain curtain and hail curtain right behind the wall cloud. That made it a high precipitation supercell. Those are supposed to have less chance of producing a tornado than ones where the rain had been mostly staying off to the north. And so that would be a classic supercell. So this one, the stick net measurements of temperature, any weather balloons that they send up into this will be able to get temperature measurements and be able to understand how this could happen. And of course, the Doppler and the multiple Doppler velocity measurements that are obtained out of this will be able to document the entire tornado evolution, the entire evolution from non-tornado to tornado and now to dissipation. A spectacular data set. You could, as long as everything is working the way it's designed, you could not have asked for a better data set than this case, as far as I can tell from what you've been showing us.
When we watched this storm cell initially develop north of Cheyenne, it looked to be kind of your run-of-the-mill thunderstorm, broke into 3 distinct sections, and then the southern storm actually really blossomed, Dr. Forbes, became a right turner, and you'll hear that term a lot with the researchers here with Vortex2. They're always looking for a right turner. Why is that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. The storms, to some extent, and the analogy is not perfect, but to some extent the storms act like baseballs. And the ones that develop a very strong counterclockwise rotation have a tendency to move to the right. And so, exactly as you said, the storms split. The ordinary storms that didn't have rotation went off toward the northeast. The storm that developed the tornado had strong rotation. It curved like a curveball would do. It turned off to the right in this case and developed a very strong rotation, developed a big wedge tornado, went through the entire tornado evolution, from a funnel cloud to a narrow tornado, a big wedge tornado, then to a elephant's trunk tornado, and then finally a rope tornado that just tore itself apart, dry air working into it, and ripped itself apart.
Dr. Forbes, as we stop here, I can actually physically feel that it's significantly colder than it was just a little bit ago. Richard, careful with your step there. It's a little steep here. And I can also tell that the winds have picked up just a little bit now that we've moved ourselves just a little bit farther south. And as we look at the storm itself, it does not look nearly as impressive as it did, I'll say maybe just after the tornado itself formed. When you look at the cloud structure that you see right now, is there anything in this to you that would indicate we could see another funnel form?
Well, if it did, I would be keeping an eye on this area. There seems to be a little bit of sunny skies here and some rain in behind that. I think there's some updraft coming in here. We have, as you say, the rain cooled outflow. The gust front has passed through, but there's still some ascent taking place there. Could be a little land spot, water spot-like tornado or gustnado perhaps could form under this little protrusion or somewhere nearby. I think probably off to the right here, we may, of this location, we may have the chance of yet another cycling of what happens sometimes in supercell thunderstorms, that we will get new rotating updrafts form. This one seemed to have its rotating updraft completely undercut by some rain-cooled air, and that choked off the tornado. But sometimes they will reform a little bit off farther to the east.
This is obviously a very, very impressive supercell thunderstorm that has produced multiple funnels, one large wedge tornado at its onset, and then it became more of a rope structure as it tilted out. What we're looking at now are kind of the remnants post-tornado of the tornado in Goshen County, Wyoming. This is the first tornado that Vortex2 has been able to sample. The area that we're focused on right now and the possibilities of another tornado are certainly there, as the storm is very, very close to our vantage point right now There is zero precipitation at this point, although I see potentially some lighter rain shafts developing on the north side of this storm. The area here that's protruding from the cloud base itself looks to be, Dr. Forbes, the area that may potentially produce the tornado.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. There seems to be a little bit of a corkscrewing motion with these clouds going in